Once I defeat little Yugi, Kaiba's company will become ours.
Pegasus has to defeat Yugi in order to take over a billion-dollar company that has nothing to do with Yugi whatsoever, apparently. I get that Yugi defeated Seto Kaiba, but how and why should that affect a CEO's status in a company? Just buy out the shares. These 5 members of the board of directors have their faces hidden by shadows as if there's going to be a shocking reveal later on. When their faces are eventually revealed later on in the season, it's anything but shocking.
I can't believe all my business associates would turn on me after a single defeat.
This is an example of why Yu-Gi-Oh! Should not choose to go back and rewrite their canon, because by later seasons, Seto Kaiba did a lot of things to warrant the Big Five hating his guts and wanting him dead. But here, he makes it seem like a single loss in Duel Monsters is the reason why they betrayed him.
Then again, losing to Yugi has shaken my self-confidence too.
It was luck from drawn Exodia. How many more times am I going to have to say that in this season?
No.
Kaiba may not be second-guessing his dueling techniques, but he does seem to be second-guessing his desire to head to the Duelist Kingdom, since his helicopter is literally moving in reverse in this shot. Maybe that's why he said, "No, I'm out of here. Sorry, Mokuba, but YOLO." By this point, Mokuba is not even trapped inside a soul card, and yet the show just spoiled what his inevitable fate will be. Thanks a lot, assholes. Where did these guys get a tent? The only thing Mai carried in her bag was a bunch of food, and Yugi had a small backpack that was obviously too small to contain a tent that big. Also, we're doing the girl gets to sleep in the tent while the boys are resorted to sleeping out on the cold ground simply because of gender cliche, aren't we? Joey's even sleeping with a log for a pillow. This is pure torture if you ask me. It's later revealed that the Millennium Ring points to the direction of any other Millennium item, so why isn't one of the pointers also facing Yugi's Millennium Puzzle since it's right in front of it?
Why is it the more involved I get with Pegasus?
Forget that, I'm surprised you're asking why everyone has to sleep on the cold ground while Taya sleeps in the warm tent. According to the shot inside, it was clearly big enough for everyone to fit in.
Wow! Look.
In the last shot of Kaiba flying to the island, he was nowhere near that low, and even if he was aiming on landing in that spot, there's no way he'd fly low just to make some sort of grand entrance. It takes the grand out of it when it doesn't logically fit. Also, Kaiba's intention was to fly to Pegasus's castle, and it's been shown later on that there's a lot of room in the area for his helicopter to land. And considering Kaiba doesn't give a damn and is on a mission to rescue his brother, his manners would obviously be out the window. I guess he chooses to land as far away from the castle as possible because he doesn't have his deck anymore, and this allows him to reunite with the one guy who conveniently has it.
Your deck! I've been keeping it for you.
And it somehow hasn't fallen apart or gotten tossed all around in my pocket or even got incinerated when I dueled PaniK in the last episode.
You could stick with us. You'll need some star chips.
If that's allowed, this tournament is without a doubt the easiest competition to enter. You don't even have to be invited but can still compete simply because.
That was uncalled for.
But Joey getting in Kaiba's face, throwing aside the intentions to save his brother and putting his hands on him was perfectly fine?
Check his pulse, Yugi.
He got knocked down from a simple throw. Unless Bakura has seen people die from a simple shove, I don't see why we should check to see if Joey's still alive.
Why don't you go look for an opponent you can actually beat?
He beat a tough blonde chick, does that count for anything?
Care to prove me wrong?
On one condition.
My brother has been kidnapped and might possibly be close to death while my board of directors have turned their backs on me completely. But sure, let's have a random duel that won't do anything except stall for time.
Looks like just a regular old briefcase.
It's in the briefcase, you moron.
Seto Kaiba would be great at CinemaSins 2 expansion. I will never be mad at him for taking my job because this is the one guy who can do it all he wants. He's Seto freaking Kaiba.
Precedent.
Looks like a flying saucer.
Don't be an idiot.
Honestly, Seto Kaiba could sin the rest of this episode and I would be perfectly fine with it. Or he could join me. We'd be unstoppable.
Now brace yourself.
Kaiba actually tells Joey to brace himself because he hasn't fully perfected his throwing ability and could very well whack him in the head with it. Actually, wait. Kaiba would relish in Joey getting his head hit with a dual disc.
My new dueling disc technology even simulates its odor.
This new dual disc system accurately simulates the odor of the monsters, even though there's no way of anyone knowing what the monsters actually smell like. And this absolutely causes plot holes, as later on when the Blue Eyes White Dragon is literally rotting away, nobody can smell the scent of rotting flesh.
The Batlox is resistant to all fire-type creatures!
Well, that is random and makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. How can a Battle-Ox be impervious to all fire-type creatures when it isn't even so much as fireproof or equipped with a special power to be impervious to fire creatures?
Or better yet, why don't I...
Okay, even if the Battle-Ox being impervious to fire creatures was accurate, how does Joey lose 200 life points here? Considering the Battle-Ox had 1700 attack points while the Flame Swordsman had 1800. Did Yugi forget to mention that it can randomly deduct life points every time a fire-type creature attacks it? What even are the rules here?
Axe-Raider, avenge my battle god!
Montage of Joey using weak monster after weak monster in an attempt to defeat Kaiba's powered-up monster. By this point, he should at least know that weak monsters are no match for the stronger monsters. This is just embarrassing to watch.
Man, it took Exodia for even Yugi to beat this guy.
It's not Kaiba's skill that's depleting your life points over and over. It was that stupid montage of you thinking random monsters can defeat him simply because. So it has been stated that the Blue Eyes White Dragon was rivaled by the powers of the Red Eyes Black Dragon. All of those statements were absolutely tarnished when she destroyed Red Eyes with a simple blast of white lightning. So what was that about Red Eyes rivaling her powers again?
No, I lost.
And I accidentally destroyed the duel disc by slamming it on the ground too.
He has every card that's ever been made at his disposal.
Except any of the Blue Eyes White Dragon cards. I have all of them, even the fourth one before what I did to it, remember?
I have been invited as Pegasus's guest.
Man, Kaiba is really showing that he is not in a rush to rescue Mokuba from Pegasus's grasp. First he lands his helicopter so far away from the castle, chooses the duel with Joey just to humiliate him, and has time to tell the story of when he watched Pegasus defeat Bandit Keith. The latter reason because that character is about to appear in this series and we don't want to introduce him without first showing him dueling in America. Also, damn, Kaiba looks more interested in telling the story of the Intercontinental Championship Tournament than he is actually attending it. And why is he wearing the uniform from Yugi's school since he never attends? An entire packed stadium of probably 100,000 people who arrive to watch card games on a desk. I'm just saying, I doubt stadium shows ever would happen for Duel Monsters until the holographic technology was created. Then at least there'd be some excitement to watch.
I wish you could see the expression on your face, Pegasus.
No one is Millennium Eye. I'm pretty sure Pegasus can see the expression on his own face. Who knows what crazy powers that item possesses.
It's priceless.
Also, Bandit Keith is taunting Pegasus for looking confident with a grin, calling that a priceless face. I wouldn't be taunted if I saw that look.
I want to be a duelist like him!
Playing a children's card game is impossible for children to do, apparently. Not exactly the flex one would have when it comes to wanting to be like their idol when they grow up.
Just follow these instructions and you'll win.
Thank goodness Pegasus didn't end up selecting a kid from the crowd who was dyslexic, am I right?
Let's just hope our paths don't cross again before this is all over.
Because he said that, I'm sure it's safe to assume that their paths will indeed cross again before all this is over.